to hear these terms here: trustee, power of attorney, executor. They're thrown around, and Frank is certainly going to go more into detail as he walks through some of the legal instruments. But we thought it'd be good to cover it a couple times just to make sure everyone's on the same page. And you know, being a trustee, and you may be a trustee for a family member's trust or mom and dad's family trust, and your role as trustee is really as a fiduciary to, in any of these three roles, you're a fiduciary. So, and that basically meaning you've really got to do what's in the best interest of the person you're representing, right? So if mom and dad have a trust, and I've seen some families that they don't, you know, mom and dad don't want the kids or the beneficiaries to know what's in the trust, right? But you have to do what's right for not only mom and dad as the grantors of that trust, but also ultimately for the beneficiaries. So making sure that you're properly managing any assets, whether it's real estate or investment accounts or insurance policies, and reviewing that annually, whether it's with your own trusted advisors or mom and dads. I think that's a key role, and that your job as trustee is really to make sure that you understand what that trust document says that mom and dad have laid out as their goals and objectives, and then you're managing whatever assets are there, you know, to their best interest for the beneficiaries. Power of attorney, that's a critical document, especially as you have aging parents. You want to make sure you've got proper power of attorney, and what that's going to allow you to do is act on behalf of mom and dad, right? While they're still alive, that if either they can't physically, or they just are leaning on you as a trusted person to help them pay their bills. You know, that I think is a critical part of making sure that document's in place, because if mom and dad eventually can't or don't want to manage their own finances, that's going to allow you to access information. It's going to allow you to transact for them, pay their bills, move money around as you need to. And again, Frank will get more into that. And then as an executor, this is after mom and dad have passed, and you pick up that will and you see that you're listed as executor. And I think one big question to ask is, do you even know if you're the executor? If you've got multiple children, and usually mom and dad will pick one to kind of take the lead on that. Do you understand what those responsibilities are and how to properly execute mom and dad's wishes? And I think from that standpoint, your role there is really to read that legal document, that last will and testament, and open up the probate estate and close it out based on what that document says. And I think that's a big job, right? As a fiduciary, making sure that you're managing expectations of your family members. You know, we've seen some interesting stories where everything's perfectly fine while mom and dad are alive, and then all of a sudden they're gone. They can no longer kind of verbalize what they want to have happen. And this executor, or the person in charge of closing out the last will and testament in the estate, is put in a hard place, because now they have to make decisions or interpretations of what the parents wanted. So I think having those conversations in advance is critical to that. And again, Frank will go more into that.